Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Monday, July 27th, and oh boy, what a day this has been. Roller coaster and a half. So we started off this morning thinking we are going to have a modestly optimistic, some kind of strength in the market, but it turned out to be just a dead cat bounce from Friday. They bounced up here. They were trading up, looking pretty good until the market opened, and they just hammered it right smack down again. And they took out key resistance and then some and then some. So we are in the move out of the middle to the. This is Nasdaq. I'm looking at this, and so we took out some resistance in the middle, but on the ES we haven't quite taken out the lows, so we're not in a crazy bad spot. But you can see it from that mode we were trading. We had the first move from a little bounce here from Friday. Well, not the bounce, but the bounce here going into today's trading, and then absolutely hammering it right back down again, testing the low of, and it's not even Friday, on Thursday's low, and then holding. So far, it's holding, and I maybe get a little bit optimistic about it, but I'm just going to fold this back together again because right now it feels very much like this whole area is just a big blurb out of potential volatility. So we have an attractor area up here at the 75.90s. We have an attractor area down here at the 74.40. So you can see how much more volume we have here than we have TPOs. A lot more trading going on down here in this lower area. And I would probably key in on this low here at the 74.15. This support area now is, if they start taking that out, I think they're heading right down to the 73.50s. If not, that little volume blurb here we're seeing, which is sticking out, if you wish, that's where they're going to probably hold it. It seems to be an attractor area right there. So either they're going to be sticking around here, take it lower, or maybe retrace back up towards the mode here at the 75.40s. Those are the options. And now going into tomorrow's trading, what do we have in front of us? See here on the see here on the calendar, we had the Fed meeting beginning. Talked about that before. We have international trade at 8:30. We have housing data, Case-Shiller and FHFA at 9. Consumer confidence at 10. Richmond Fed manufacturing at 10. So we have news at 8:30, 9, and 10 tomorrow. And then 7-year auction at 1. So fair amount of news, and the Fed meeting begins. And that's kind of what we have in front of us. So I would start off going into the overnight. I would start off range bound. I would probably favor the short side given the day session. Unless they start retracing here into the close, maybe it's at the last minute little rally, little bargain hunt, could start retracing this. And I would probably look at this area, the 74.70s. That's the area this morning we talked about. If that came out, we would be back on the short side. Right now, if they retraced past that going into the overnight, I would probably start off range bound. Otherwise, I would start with a bias to the downside. I would look to sell against this upper range, 55, and then the 70s. Looking at the bond, no trades on the ES for me today. On the Nasdaq, I did a few trades on the Nasdaq. We talked about that in the last update. I'll go through them again since I'm recording this one. But you can see here, Nasdaq has been nothing but brutal. That move out of the middle to the downside. Friday's trading was made new lows. They took it down here to that support area at the 230, 200 to 230s. And then, of course, the little bounce we had this morning, they were up here. It looked to me like we had a shot at retracing it, but there was just a dead cat bounce. And they just immediately just freaking hammered it again, all the way down into this low area. We are down below the 28,000s right now. Well, right now we just scratch up above it again, but barely. So I would say that Nasdaq, I'm going to start on the short side unless we get some kind of spectacular rally. If we get up above that 400 to 500 support area, or now resistance, I may start off range bound. Otherwise, I'm going to start on the short side, looking to sell strength all the way up into this area, the 400 to 4 to 500. Big range, by the way. So you'll start getting into that area up right there at the 415 is the resistance area here. 470, 520 up to the 590. So these four areas of resistance are the ones which are going to dictate how we're going to be playing this. But right now, we're not even close to it and starting off on the short side. So we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. It looks to me like we are in for a doozy, for sure. Not easy by any means. And the trades I took this morning, just to show you those. I was going at it, the biggest sell-off here, and that they took out the initial balance low. I was a little bit too aggressive. I tried one trade here, and I was looking at a bit faster charts as well in conjunction with this, just to see, because I was waiting for a little snapback of some sort here. And it looked to me like they started churning pretty good in this area, but they managed to take it quite a bit lower anyway. So I had three losers in a row, two big ones and one little bit smaller one. So I was down like 280 or something crazy, 250 I think. Then I had two in here. Finally, the snapback starts occurring. Try two trades, both of them get to break even and get just flat out knocked out. So nothing happened there. I tried one more long trade a little bit after I started taking out some of these levels, looking at had a shot at scratching it back up here. Immediately got knocked down. It was just too volatile, so I hit my stop too fast. So I was down almost $300 here at that point. And then I managed to get one scratch and then a nice winner there. And that winner right there brought me back down to minus 40. And then I said, okay, fine, finally. But this was getting to that point, when you're over trading it a bit, you're already in a hole. Technically, you should probably just leave it and stop trying. But it's just hard sometimes to just give it up. So when you find an opportunity here, you kind of try it. And I tried a short trade right when they started taking this higher. Just given this move to the downside, it felt very much like it would be a fake out. Like, yeah, this would be everyone hopping on the long side, getting caught. So I got the nice little trade out of that. But I had the sense to stop trading afterwards. So yes, when you get the break like that, just kind of stop it. If I had been in a loser there, I would have been about 300 some bucks down in the hole, and I would have to stop by default. I said more than I want to lose. I don't want to lose more than a couple of hundred. That would be the biggest one I would want to lose. But 100 is really where I want to be. But when it's volatile like that, you have to just make it a little bit bigger. So anyway, a little bit of luck there, but so 8 round turns, I'm down $40 on that so far, and that I can live with that. Crazy stuff going on here. So as I said, I'm not going to be trying to be too cute about it. On the bond side of things, I didn't take any bond trade. I was tempted for a bit. I was tempted, actually, it was right here at the O2s. But as you can see, there's still a couple of ticks below the low here. So I just kind of waited a little bit. And then, of course, look at that. They took it all the way down, and I said, okay, fine. But they took it a tick lower, and I just kind of stopped at that point. So when that part took out the low, I figured, okay, it's not working out. It would have been a decent long right there, but as I said, you had to be a little bit more aggressive than I want to be. And then after that, it just went sideways. So not much to say about the bonds today. That's range-bound trading. They didn't take it lower, which is a good sign. That just means that if the yields can start going down a little bit, prices go up on the bonds, that would be a nice little break. Crypto-wise, has just been a mess. They've been all over the place, and I'm trying to trade higher given that crypto legislation, but so far I haven't seen any really good opportunities there today. It's been, as you can see, pretty sloppy stuff going on. Oil and gold, yeah, so whipping back and forth. The good news is that oil is down to 82. That's a good sign. They stopped shooting, so that oil backing off a bit. And I think the strait is open now. They bombed the crap out of them, so I don't think they're going to be doing any more shooting on ships, I think. Obviously, we'll see if that's not happening. We're back to square one, I guess. Anyway, back to the ES and the NASDAQ. And I will wrap it up here. We are looking at a market which is not recovering. You see, had a big sell-off, and the NASDAQ just kind of sitting there, going sideways. And then they're back up here again, but they haven't started retracing with any conviction just yet. So we'll see. The last 10 minutes. Look at that 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes of trading. You'll see if they're going to be trying to squeeze it higher or if they're going to ram this lower. So we'll see. Anyone's guess? Alrighty, guys. We'll leave it there for now, and I will see you guys back bright and early in the morning. We'll go at this again. All right, guys, later.